Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another episode of Coffee with Kim. So, tonight we are going to talk about how we can get to know ourselves better by discovering and understanding our personality type. So, very interesting tong topic na to. I know that there are free tests online. I'm sure you've taken the test as well kasi I included it in the invite. So the results that you get from those tests may give you an idea, but those tests aren't always spot on. So I actually did a test last week, and the result, although it does reflect some parts of me, it wasn't actually like the most dominant type the test said that I am. It wasn't actually my dominant type. So I was able to pinpoint what my type really is when I did a guided inner work practice with our guest tonight. So it took us 2 hours actually, guys. So yung test na yon, it will take you 5 minutes. Pero there's something much deeper dyan sa results na yan. And we will talk about that. Let me welcome our guest tonight, Tetz Agustin. Hi, Tetz!
Hi,
How are
hi.
you? How are
I'm good. I'm
you?
very excited to be
Thank you so
here and to be,
much.
everybody talking about this new framework that I've adapted, especially
Oo.
for moms.
Thank you so much for joining me. Medyo late. I know you have a kid, a mom's
We
time.
all have kids. It's okay.
Yeah, oo, kasi kaya 9 p.m. kasi I really want to give moms time to catch up. I know they do a lot of stuff, so I scheduled it later in the day. Ayan. So, Tets, can you quickly introduce yourself to our audience? What do you do? And then, why do you do what you do?
Okay, so my name is Tetz Agustin. Obviously, nickname ko yung Tetz.
Yes.
And I'm a retired local film producer turned stay-at-home mom upon giving birth to my son. So he's now 5. He's turning 6 towards the end of the year.
Mhm.
And I'm now a catalyst coach and also an intuitive strategist. And what I do is I help tired boss moms or entrepreneurial moms to take back their physical and their emotional states, and also reconnect to their true selves and be also able to reclaim our lost identity, so that all moms can be the best moms that they are called to be. So that's
Yes.
basically what I do. And that's something that I'm really passionate about doing because I was that mom. I had all these issues also upon giving birth and, going through all the things. And at the time, I didn't have anybody helping me through the process. So talagang a lot of self-learning, soul searching, all of those things. So when I was finally able to shift to, finding my authentic self, and, that helps me become a better mom and a better wife, a better business owner, parang that's something that, I really wanted to give back also to other moms.
Actually, that's parang lahat tayo, we were that mom. 'Di ba?
That's
Kasi,
true.
yeah, motherhood is a huge transition kasi. So, parang medyo chaotic din siya in some way, right?
For sure, for sure.
Oo. Ayan, sige. So what we're going to talk about tonight, guys, is what Tetz calls the mom enneagram. Hirap yan.
Yeah.
Mom enneagram. Ayan. Mom enneagram. So basically, enneagram test yon, pero
Yeah.
focused on moms. So Tetz, she took me through her mom enneagram consult. But before that, di ba, I did the enneagram test. So, yun nga, like I said in the intro, the free tests online, they will give you 3 results. So they won't
Mhm.
really tell you yung what your dominant type really is. So you won't know. So parang what they say lang kasi parang you are probably these types of 'di ba,
Oo, totoo.
personalities. Ayan. So with Tet's help, na-pinpoint namin what I really am. And it's actually the last the last one in the list, 'di ba? Nakakagulat nung
Last
lumabas
of
sa
the
list.
3 options pa na
Oo,
binigay ng
oo,
test.
parang siya daw yung least type ko, pero yun pala talaga ako. So, sige, share ko lang sa kanila muna before we dive
Sige,
into the
go,
types.
go.
So, when I took the test, I got 3 results. So, the individualist, which is type 4, the
Mhm.
reformer, which is a type 1, and the achiever, type 3. So after going through the process, we were able to pinpoint my actual type, which is the achiever, or what Tetz calls
I call
Christina.
Christina.
Yes, Grace, if you know Grey's Anatomy, if you watch yon, si Christina, ganun daw ako. Natawa ako kasi akala ko hindi talaga. She'll talk more about that later. So yon, I honestly didn't know I was a Christina because as what Christinas do, 'di ba? I wear so many hats depending on who I'm with or what situation I'm in. So this is probably why for the longest time my biggest struggle has always been how to answer the question, well, who is Kim? Talagang hirap ako, to be honest. May identity crisis talaga for the longest time because I relied so much on my labels. So, before being a mom, sige parang, I'm Kim the Athenian. Parang ganun. I'm Kim the Assumptionista before that. Tapos when I became a mom, when I became a wife, I'm Kim RJ's wife. And then I'm Kim Kelly's mom, Caleb's mom. Parang ganun na yung nangyari. Pero I didn't know parang if you remove all those labels, who is Kim? 'Di ba? So this itong result na 'to, it was an eye opener for me. Kasi when I finally knew what my tendencies are, it made me more aware. So like I'm more proactive. Actually, ang sakit pa rin ng ulo ko, parang mentally exhausted ako because I'm trying to, parang dahil I'm more aware. So kina-catch ko yung sarili ko lately. So I'm more proactive ngayon when it comes to showing my authentic self. So, I'm really trying my best na kasi aware na ako na may tendency talaga ako to put on layers, right? Because that's how I am talaga and I got used to it. So, yon. It was super helpful. And actually, even days after our consult, talagang pinag-iisipan ko siya. Pinag-iisipan ko pa rin. I actually asked Tetz before we started the live, di ba, na parang, Tetz, do you offer like after consults? Kasi parang feeling ko, I need more consults. I need to understand myself better.
We all
Ayan.
do, we all do. Kasi constant process siya,
Oo.
syempre. Di ba?
Right, super, oo. Tsaka parang especially for my type, there are so many layers to uncover and so many pa. Feeling ko I need more guidance there. Ayan, so with that said, Tets, can you give us an overview of the different types? Like, how are they as moms? So, guys, focus tayo sa moms kasi our audience are mostly moms anyway. So, how are these types as moms? What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? And, parang, can you give them like one step that they can take to get closer to the better version of themselves?
Sige. We can do that. First, siguro, before I introduce you to the types, I'm gonna give you a quick background on what the Mom Enneagram is. So basically, it's a framework by which moms can acquire in-depth insight to, our own self. And then it provides us also an open perspective to personal development. So syempre lahat tayo as moms, yun yung goal natin. We always want to be better versions of ourselves. But at the same time, we want one that does not box us in, but instead it opens the road to self-discovery and also greater self-awareness and even growth. So
Yes.
it's also a channel for us moms to become, more conscious of, our behavioral patterns, both yung mga behaviors natin that serve us and those that do not serve us also. Because this allows us to become, active participants of our lives kesa yung pinapanood lang natin yung life natin as if,
Yes.
we're
Yes.
either a victim of circumstance or, we just watch our life go by and we don't claim responsibility for our actions.
Yeah,
Kasi
like parang
when
allowing things to happen na lang. And just go with
diba?
it.
But
Parang ganun,
if
oo.
if we are conscious of our behaviors, then it's better we become more responsible for them kasi we understand also why we do the things that we do and why we react also to the things that we react to. Yun. And then lastly, I adapted the Mom Enneagram as a guide for moms for us to be able to identify also. Syempre, you want to identify our strengths, what's our weaknesses, as people, as individuals, hindi lang bilang nanay, hindi lang bilang asawa, all of those things. But as individuals, all without judgment. Kasi, di ba, parang as mom, sobrang dami na nating pressure on, every
Yes.
day, everything we do. Parang
And
kahit
then you
na may
pressure yourself pa.
oo, yun, which is even worse kasi we put more pressure on ourselves sa
Oo.
totoo lang eh. And we judge ourselves and we judge other moms and we're judged at the same time. So parang this is a guide for us to do that without judgment. Kasi everybody falls in a particular mom Enneagram type. So each type has strengths, each type has weaknesses. So pantay-pantay, we're all on an equal playing field. So
Mm.
when we also understand other mom Enneagram types, we also discover more compassion for them, for other people, kasi we
Yes.
begin to understand ano yung, kumbaga parang, kaya pala itong si ganito mag-react kasi ito yung
Mm-mm.
reasons niya or ito yung motivations niya for her actions or
Mm-mm.
even for your husband or your children, di ba? That's something that we can also adapt and use. So, why it's important yung why to learn the mom enneagram because it tells us why we do what we do, what our deepest unconscious motivators are, what we are driven unconsciously by, ano
Mm-hmm.
yung core fears, ano yung, at the core, yung kumbaga sa ilaliman ng pagkatao natin, what is that, what do we fear, what do we desire, ano ba talaga yung mga gusto natin, and, how we manage our blind spots and how we become more self-aware. So, yon. And there are a lot of layers. So, sabi nga ni Kim, inabot kami ng 2 hours.
Yes. Kulang ka, bitin. Bitin.
Yes, but
Sobra.
because there are many layers to the mom enneagram, and it's something that, of course, we will not get into right now. But
Mm-hmm.
if you want to learn more, and Kim, I know Kim shared the link to the Facebook group because we had an introductory masterclass earlier today. The
Yes.
replay is still up for a limited time, so you can go check that out. After this, you can go check that out, so you can have parang a deeper knowledge of the mom enneagram.
Yes.
And you can find it there for a limited time. But for tonight, I want to talk about, a different way for us to look at ourselves. So, each one of us, we have one mom Enneagram type, and we also belong to one mama house. So
Mm-hmm.
you are either a gut mom, a heart mom, or a head mom. So
Yes.
each house has 3 mom Enneagram types. So
Mm-hmm.
that's basically the how it works. So at this point in our life, hindi na siya nagbabago. It's
Mm-hmm.
not like, kasi recently I took again yung MBTI na test, and then
Yeah.
parang a while back, I think mga 2 years ago or a year ago, I was parang ENTP. And then recently, I took it, naging ENFP na siya. So,
Also,
parang,
okay.
and I've had a lot of friends parang have their types changed over time.
Mm-hmm.
With the mom enneagram, you don't. Parang once we reach our parang early 20s, that's it.
Oo.
Kumbaga,
Okay.
once yung personality natin is formed, yun na yun.
Yun na. Wala nang, wala nang balikan.
Wala nang balikan. Kasi parang syempre as children, you evolve pa
Oo.
eh. Diba? But yung parang when you're early 20s and na-lock na tayo to that, that's it.
Yeah.
Parang it's just always a matter of parang how are you gonna use it to benefit you also and then prevent you from being,
Yes.
the stressed out, unhealthy versions of yourself.
Yeah.
So, yun. Basically, our behaviors don't reveal our mom enneagram type. So, unlike nga yung other personality tests, so yun yung difference niya with yung mga 16 types or yung MBTI test. So, yung our person in the mom enneagram naman, our behaviors don't reveal our mom enneagram type. So, these behaviors that we do are only expressions of what I'd like to call our personality pop stars. So, which
Oo.
is that's basically our core beings, our authentic selves. So parang isipin nyo, think of parang a pie, parang pie chart or isang pizza, ganyan. Mas madali siyang isipin na sa pizza kasi nakakagutom. And then cut it up into 9 pieces. So 9 pieces siya representing the 9 mom enneagram types. And then at the center of that, diba usually pag nagpa-deliver ka ng pizza or meron siya yung, alam mo yung puti na nasa gitna, tapos yung you use it to cut the pizza
Oo.
slices. Diba?
Yeah.
May ganon. So that white one is your personality pop star. Okay?
Mm.
That's at the center of your being. So yung basis of that personality, the basis of a personality is yung personality pop star and not yung surface behavior or what we manifest based on our mom Enneagram types. So
Right.
usually, yun nga, common typing mistakes kasi like parang, di ba, you take tests tapos parang you'll be asked parang, how will you react if parang, do you
Hmm.
like ganito? Parang, how will you act if ganito? Basta it's always based on ano yung action na gagawin
Yes.
mo in response to a particular question. And even some Enneagram tests, they also ask the same thing. So, at dahil computerized, system siya of quizzes, parang what it will do is just type you based on the actions that you do or the way that you
Yeah.
react to things, 'di ba? It doesn't take into consideration your motivations, which
Oo.
is entirely the point of the mom Enneagram system or even the Enneagram system. So,
Yes.
parang
Oo, kasi
minsan,
parang problem niya doon, minsan kasi 'di ba yung answer mo, you do that kasi that's what others expect you to do. Do'n ka
exactly, oo.
nahirapan sa'kin 'di ba, Tetz, kasi nga I'm a type 3, right, Christina. So parang yung mga sagot ko medyo gumaganon-ganon kasi 'di ba, dahil nga yung ano, response ko kasi, yung tendency talaga how will the world think of me? Kailangan best
Mm.
version palagi.
Yes, exactly,
Oo.
'di ba? Na parang, okay, puwedeng ganito, parang yung pinag-uusapan natin before, naalala mo yung parang, okay, paano kapagka may argument with the husband, ganyan,
Mm.
how would you react, ganyan. And then parang
Oo.
even that reaction itself, parang puwede siyang maging reaction ng ibang, mom Enneagram type. Ang nagdi-differ yung ano ba talaga yung reason, ano yung need mo, bakit mo pino-project yung gano'ng reaction in that
Mm.
particular situation. So, yun, 'di ba? Ang galing. Kaya sobrang love ko 'tong
Oo.
system na 'to. It's very, very
Oo.
helpful for moms and even
Oh,
non-moms alike.
super helpful kasi kahit yung first consult natin, yung 2 hours pa lang,
Yeah.
parang it made a huge difference already in terms of awareness of how I respond. Grabe, kasi dahil aware ka na, na gano'n ka kasi, eh. So, kailangan i-catch mo yung sarili mo dun sa triggers na yun, 'di ba? Nahuhulihin kita, hindi puwedeng fake, parang gano'n.
Nakakatuwa. Thank you, thank you. I'm glad that it
Oo.
helped. So, ano pa? Saan na ba tayo? Okay,
Sige.
so, yun nga. What you call this? Yeah, a little yun nga. Tuloy ko yung background, yung
Sige, go ahead,
principle
sorry.
of it. So, okay lang yun. Ano ba? Mas fun kaya. Okay,
Oo.
ano ba? So, ayan, I talked about the personality pop stars being yung core na beings natin. At the same time, we also have what we call parang our personality pop star filters. So, and this is something that I go really in detail and in depth dun sa masterclass.
Yeah.
But the concept of it is, kunwari, imagine yourself as a photo. So, kunwari, basic photo. Di ba, take a selfie ka with your selfie kang ganyan as a mom. Siyempre, hindi naman natin po-post agad yon, di ba?
True.
So, di ba, your personality pop star is yung raw photo before you do any manipulation to it.
Yeah.
So, and obviously, before natin siya i-post on Instagram or before you post it on Facebook, ganyan, bago mo gawing profile photo, kasi syempre, you present it to the world, you carefully and methodically choose certain filters. So, kunwari, sabihin na nating parang nagmamanipulate ka talaga ng, yung, alam mo yung nila-lightroom mo talaga na parang, adjust color, adjust vignette, adjust
Mm.
hue, mga ganyan, di ba?
Oo.
So, super career talaga yung editing mo. And so those are what we call the personality pop star filter. So there are 4 categories of those that you adjust and you add on to your personality pop star self before you project it to the world. So
Mhm.
yung new photo that you end up with after all of that is who you are right now based on what you do. So based on your actions, based on your behavior, and often yun yung nami-mistake na pagkakamalan nating personality natin. So it's
Mm.
not, it's already, instead na yung raw photo mo, yung nagiging personality, na pagkakamalan ng lahat, even ourselves, that our personalities are actually the already edited version. Yun. So,
Oo. Parang
The
you
mom,
believe na yun ka
believe
na.
na yun eh. Kasi ang dami ng, kahit ang dami na niyang layers and filters, you believe that that's you. But the Mom Enneagram framework actually helps you unfilter yourself back to that original raw photo, and also helps you, date, discover, accept, trust, and then enact that particular personality pop star self. So whatever it is, that raw, unfiltered, and very authentic you. Okay. So again, so here we go for a brief overview of the mom Enneagram types
Oo.
based on how they show up as moms. Okay.
Okay.
So
Ayan, we have comments. We have ones. We have 2 ones here commenting. Then we have
wow. Okay.
5s. Teammates ko to. So yung teammates ko may 1 and 5. Titignan ko kung anong
Tama
paano
ba?
kayo. Kung paano kayo. Meron ako yan. Sina She, si Elgin, yan, 1 and 5. O sige, let's see. And then I said nga dun sa poll ko, a lot of the moms said they were 4s and 6s. Yun.
Okay. So dami
Oh,
4,
interesting
1s,
mix to.
4s. Ang dami. Medyo magandang
Oo,
mix siya.
interesting. Oo.
Okay. Kasi, okay, masaya yan. So, again, there's so many layers na even just talking about the mom Enneagram types, we show up, differently, nag-manifest ko, like, what are you in business? What are you in, in daily life? Parang nag-consult niya kami ni Kim, we got through like parang, okay, ganito mag-grocery ang mom Enneagram type. Ganito. Ganito siya
Oo.
upon getting up in the morning. So all of these things. So now what we're gonna do is basically, since we're all moms, we're gonna talk about how they parent. Ano yung parenting style of each mom Enneagram type. And, what you can do also to, parang take the first step siguro towards, growth as your particular type. So the first type that I'm gonna share with you is Dani. I call her Dani. So that, mamaya na natin sabihin ko kung anong number yon. Para let's see.
Sige. Para malaman nila kung sila yung mag-identify kung ano talaga.
Yes, kung ano
Sige.
kayo talaga. Because this is one of the reasons also why I specifically took out the numbers. Kasi nga, very similar naman, the Enneagram and the Mom Enneagram. Pero I specifically took out yung numbers. Kasi I find it na masyado siyang restrictive siya, na parang lalo na pare, type 3, achiever. Achiever ako, automatic achiever ako. Yung na-labelan ka na agad, even before you get down to the details. Or kunwari, type 2, helper. Ay, ang bait ko pala, helper ako. So, okay na. Diba? Yung parang minsan we stop at that, na parang we don't go beyond ano pa ba yung other aspects of that particular type. So, for the Mom Enneagram, I gave them names, and I'm sure you're gonna be familiar with them kasi medyo magkaka-generation naman yata tayo.
Hopefully.
But yeah.
Siguro masyadong matanda sa kanila.
Oo, hindi naman siguro. So I'm sure you're gonna be able to relate to them.
Tip lang sa when you're typing yourself, parang yung sinabi sa akin ni Tetz when we were doing the consult, dapat yung sagot mo dun sa question, yun yung first talaga na sagot mo, hindi filtered. So, hindi yung sagot mo na dapat kasi mabait ka. Parang gano'n.
Oo, di ba?
Yung instinct na sagot talaga. Para mas di ba, mas tama.
And sometimes it's unpleasant. It will be unpleasant. Part of it will be unpleasant.
Okay,
Part of it will be masakit talaga.
Yeah.
Kasama yun. Kasama yung pain of realizing sometimes na parang, ay, shucks, ganito pala ako, ouch, ganyan. But, it's, again, hindi lang lahat tayo merong ganon. So, again,
yung realization, that's good for you actually. Diba? Would you rather be in the dark? Diba? Parang would you rather be in the dark or would you rather know and then do something about it, diba?
Or pretend. Would you rather pretend na, ganito pala ako, kahit hindi naman talaga. Diba? Parang, wala naman tayong lulukohin except sarili natin at the end of the day. So, ayun.
Which is the worst.
Okay.
The worst
diba? Totoo yan. Okay, so, first mommy type is Dani. So, Dani's parenting style is my way or the highway. Yeah. Ito yung mga, she encourages her children to take on big challenges in life as she would. So, siya yung mga parang, she will push and push and push her children to do anything, lahat ng big challenges yan. She will push them. And then she is triggered. So like as a mom, ang stress points niya will come when she unintentionally wounds her kid. So pag nasasaktan niya, kasi nga, my way or the highway, di ba? So kung
Oo.
masusunod, ano yung gusto ko, that's it. So, syempre she gets stressed when she doesn't, her ends up, hurting her kids kasi may nasabi siyang hindi maganda or she pushes for something na gusto pala niya and then hindi pala gusto ng mga bata, di ba? Or it's not for them. She also is in a position of stress when her children ignore her guidelines.
Mm.
When she feels like she must contain her passion, her energy, when she's pushed past her limits, and also when her children lie. So hate na hate ng ni Dani yan. She doesn't like it when her children lie or when her husband lies. And when she
Oo.
has to be vulnerable. So that's a no-no for Dani. As in yung ayaw niya yun. Yung pag she has to be weak or she has to be parang yan, very vulnerable to her kids. Hindi. Kasi nga, boss ako my way or the highway. Ako nanay.
Oo.
Ganyan. That's Dani for you. One tip for all the Danis in the world watching today is to slow down. Slow down before you take action. Since ikaw nga si my way or the highway, your tendency will be to take action immediately. It's not something, hindi mo muna pag-iisipan, hindi mo muna siya i-feel, you're just gonna go for it. So, what can help you grow is if you slow down first, tas you take into consideration, ask yourself why you need to act immediately and then also how it will affect others. Yan.
Mhm.
So that's Dani for
Meron
you.
na bang mga Dani dito? May nakaka-relate na ba?
Meron ba?
Let's see later. Tanongin natin
Huwag kayong
later.
mahiya kasi alam ko maraming nahihiya na maging Dani. Ako po ay isang Dani. So huwag kayong mahiya.
Oo, may group sila. May group for Dani.
May group for Danis kasi medyo struggle maghanap ng ibang Danis in the world.
Mga ka-Dani. Mga ka-Dani.
So, let me know, i-add ko kayo to the group of Danis.
Oo, may special group for Danis.
Okay.
Naku, na rin ako ng group for Christine.
Hindi ko naman siya stinart. Just nahanap ko lang siya on Facebook. So,
nahanap din ako.
Okay. So, next natin, the next mommy type is Jane. So, okay. Si Jane naman is the nice parent. So, she's, alam mo yun, she's the really, really nice parent. She will always tell her kids that sharing is caring. Alam mo yung gano'n?
Meron tayong sort of Dani. Ayaw pa niya i-claim na Dani siya. Sort of lang.
Sort of lang. Konti. Medyo ganyan. Sige, we'll see kung after this, Dani ka pa rin.
Oo, sige. Kasi baka mag-fall pala siya sa ibang type.
Oo, minsan gano'n eh. Pwede iba pala. Diba? So, yan. Si Jane would always tell her kids that sharing is caring. She's a good listener. She's fair. She's very accepting, supportive of her children. She's the type who has no room for drama in her house. Yan. Bawal. Bawal magkaroon ng kahit na anong kaartehan at kadramahan in her house. So, her house is always a house of peace. Ganyan. Kalma lang. Siya yung ganyan. So, syempre, obviously, she gets stressed when there's fighting and then there's conflict in her house. And then when she's pressured to make a decision, nasa stress na si Jane. So when she feels like she's not listened to or she's not noticed in the house, when her kids are taking advantage of her, kasi nga, nice parent, di ba? So, naabuso naman siya, nasa stress siya. When she doesn't know what her kids really want, she gets stressed. And then also, most especially, when she says yes. So, minsan, di ba, parang, because she wants to avoid drama, she'll say yes na lang to her kids kaysa magkaroon ng, pagtatalo in the house. But she really wants to say no. So, that's a time when she's very, very, very stressed. So, to grow from it, to grow as a Jane, I would suggest, you could figure out what you really want to say yes to. Or, kunwari, do you just say yes to keep the peace? Parang, di ba, para wala na lang away, para wala na lang gulo, sige, mag-yes na lang ako, ganyan. And for you also to prioritize your own needs.
So, etong mga Jane, sino mga Jane dito yung kailangan ng boundaries?
Yan. Yung mga Jane, yung kailangan peaceful yung bahay, kailangan walang nagsisigawan, walang nagkakagulo, ganyan. Okay.
Meron
Wala
bang
pa.
gano'n? May naka-achieve
Meron.
na ba? May naka-achieve na ba na walang
Pero
nagsisigawan na house?
true. Medyo mahirap. Pero kanina dun
Ay, hindi,
sa
may kilala ko. Okay, parang may kilala
masterclass
ako.
namin, meron akong friend na nagsabi na Jane
Oo.
siya.
Oo, may
Sabi ko,
kilala
okay, may
nga ako.
kilala pa ako, Jane.
Oo nga na, thinking of it, yeah. Oo, meron nga.
Diba? Yung ganun. Okay. So, next natin na type is Miranda. So, Miranda, one of Kim's options before,
Oo.
according to the
Medyo
Enneagram
slight
test.
ako, medyo slight lang. Slight Miranda, very Christina. Mas gusto
Yun
ko yung
naman eh.
Beyonce kaysa Christina. Joke lang. Parang mas ano,
Mas
may dating eh.
may dating lang siya. Okay.
Oo.
Sige.
O sige,
Si
Miranda.
Miranda naman is the mom who keeps her family on a schedule. So, siya yung lahat. Kada oras ng araw, meron siyang schedule for her family to do. She has
Yes.
high expectations of her children and also tends to see things in black or white. Black and white. So, yun lang. So,
Oo.
walang gray area when it comes to Miranda as a mom or as a person. So, she's very consistent as a parent. She's very responsible, very honest. She makes sure that when it comes to her children, they have structure in their lives. They're very self-disciplined, ethical, and very, parang mataas yung integridad nila as people. So that's her goal in raising her children. So she feels stressed naman kapag she has to do it all. Tapos she encounters disobedience, ganyan, ayaw niya niyan. Or she notices that there's too many problems, there's too many messes in the house, ganyan. There's dishonesty, kasi nga, black and white eh, di ba?
Mm-mm.
Or when she or her family is criticized, yan, she gets highly stressed also. Parang black and white eh. Parang ang taas ng expectations niya of herself and of her family so that when people see flaws in her, parang and criticize her for it, yan, nagpipintig na yung ano niya talaga, yung galit niya.
Lumalabas na yung ugat dito sa...
Oo, ganun. So, one thing that Miranda can do is to start by lowering her standards for herself because, sometimes kasi it's unattainable for anybody. Tapos
Yeah.
ganun kataas yung standards nila ni Miranda na parang it's not even possible to be attained by any person. And they have to learn also how to be to be less critical of
Yeah.
themselves. So, yun.
Ayan,
Diba?
may
So,
pagka-Miranda ako eh. Napakita ko sa inyo yung proof ah. Tignan mo yung schedule ng kids ko. Diba? Talagang every minute of every day, naka-schedule ako ngayon.
diba? May ganyan.
Oo.
Meron talagang ganun. So, that's
Oo.
part of it. And it's good. Pero, I mean, diba? Balik, ako yan naman yung hate ko na parang as Dani, diba? Na parang alam ko kailangan magagalit sa birthday. Alam ko kailangan gumawa ng schedule pero talagang nire-reject ng buong being ko na gumawa ng schedule kasi alam ko, ganon. Okay, hindi. I will make it work. I will make it work. And I'm not gonna follow yung ganon. Kasi nga my way or the highway eh, di ba? So parang pag
Yes.
sinabihan ka to do this thing, hindi. There's another thing that I can do that
Oo.
works for me. Ganyan siya. Ganyan siya sa mom. So, yon. Okay, those three naman, they make up the gut moms. So, the gut mom house.
Okay. So if
Sila
you're
yun.
Dani, if you're a Miranda, if
Or
you're a
a Jane.
Jane, you're a gut mom.
You're a
So
gut mom.
isulat natin yan.
So,
Gut mom. Miranda. Ilalagay ko lang sa comments. Para Miranda.
and then you can
Jane,
find out more about it. It's also available as a blog post. At least the mama houses, the gut moms, the heart moms, and the head moms. So you can go check that
Ayan,
out.
si ano din, si Nel din. Kanina ikaw din si Dani ah. May Miranda rin siya. Oh. Sige,
Diba?
let's see kung ano ka talaga. Kung saan ka talaga.
Gawin. Hindi siya, mahirap siya gawin, promise.
Oo, nalaman natin yan.
It's okay. Okay, so we go to the next mama house, which are the heart moms. So, eto si Doris, si Christina, and si Phoebe. So,
yes, that's me.
Okay. So first off, we have Dory, who provides lots of help and love to her children. So, syempre lahat naman tayo as moms, di ba? Ginagawa natin yan. Si Dory takes it in a whole other level. Okay? Siya yung parang kahit na hindi na, yung talagang help kung help, di ba? Yung kahit na hindi na kailangan yung help, may help pa rin. Yung ganon. Or like parang siya yung parang her kids are already in college pero gusto niyang ipagbaon pa rin. Or gagawa niya ng bento snacks yung kids niya kahit na college na. Yung ganon. Yung, kasi she wants to help, di ba? Or ibabalot niya ng plastic cover yung books ng kids na in high school. Yung ganong ano talaga, she'll go beyond
The extra
extra
mile. Oo.
to help. Diba? Yan. So, but she's a very giving parent. She provides empathy, belonging, safety, and hospitality, and also support to her children. So, siya parati an extra layer of that. And then for her stress points, it's when she takes on too much. Kasi nga, diba, she likes to help, and help. So, when it gets to be too much, syempre, sa stress na rin siya. Tapos, especially if it's coupled by, feeling ignored, feeling unappreciated, when her shortcomings are pointed out. Kasi nga, she goes na the extra mile. Tapos, her
Kulang
shortcomings,
pa.
kulang pa pala yun. Diba?
Oo. Binigay ko na lahat.
Or her kids don't want her help. Diba? Yung sasabihin na parang, I'm okay, I don't need your help, mom. Ganyan. Parang,
I'm
breakdown
old
na si
enough.
Doris.
Yung mga ganyan, oo.
Ganyan. Mag-breakdown na siya. She'll feel it in her heart as a heart mom. And then she'll also worry if her kids will still like her even if she disciplines them. So siya yung hesitant din siya to give discipline kasi nga she'll always like to help and to love yan. Yun ang way niya of parenting. So kapag ka naging harsh siya, ang fear niya parang, okay, wait, will my children still like me as a mom? Ganyan. To grow, one step will be to ask, Dory should be asking herself what she really needs to do. Diba? Yung, kumbaga, assess alin lang ba talaga yung kailangan and alin yung mga things that you just think kailangan. Diba? Yun. So parang there's a line naman between what's really needed of you as a mom and what goes beyond na and that you still offer. Kasi parang yun yung parang very helpful ka naman pero pag sobra pa rin anything naman that's in excess 'di ba? Parang so hindi naman nakakatulong. Okay. So next si Christina. Yan na si Christina. Hello, Kim.
Maghayin mga ibang Christina dyan. I don't wanna feel alone.
Kasi diba maraming mga marami yan. Say hi para may karamay si Kim. Ako wala pa akong karamay.
Medyo tinanggap ko yung medyo Dani. Si Nel.
Kaso medyo Miranda rin.
Oo, medyo Miranda rin siya.
Pero pwede kasi siya, pwedeng medyo magkalapit. Magkaparehas na house at least. Diba? So, medyo malapit na sa pag narrow down. Okay. So, si Christina naman is the mom who will provide her kids star charts and rewards charts. Yan. So, very organized and, she'll use tried and tested methods of parenting. So, she'll do what works. Yan. She motivates her children and teaches them how to be more productive, more efficient, more organized, self-confident, and also how to be more goal-oriented. So it's all about the goals. Yan. Kung parang di ba si Dani before, it's about, she'll push her children to take on big challenges. Si Christina naman, parang you have to, focus on your goals. Ganyan. Si Dory will be taking care of her children. Ganyan. Parang always helping. Ganyan. Hindi niya hahayaan yung kids niya to do that. She'll do it for them. Ganon. So, in times of stress, Christina is in a time of stress when her kids are not taking her advice. And, diba? And especially kapag hindi nila binibigay yung effort that Christina expects them to give. So parang pagkulang yung effort, diba? Parang feeling mo dapat mas binibigyan pa nila ng effort tapos hindi nila ginagawa. So that causes you to be stressed. When you're not acknowledged, when the things that you do are not acknowledged, and you're told to slow down, parang chill ka lang, slow down, mom, ganyan.
Sinasabihan nila ako ng ganyan.
Diba? Ang hirap. Diba? Ang hirap kasi that our kids actually sees more of us than we do sa totoo, no?
Yes.
Anak ko ganyan din, parang he's like 5, pero parang, siya yung parang, it's too hard, can you not? Yung ginagano niya talaga.
They see through you They see through the layers. Which is scary. Kasi nakikita na yung vulnerability mo.
Exactly. So parang you
Okay.
catch yourself na parang lalo ngayon, kuwari like for the Danis, like kuwari ako parang nag-aaral kami and things and then of course I expect na parang gawin mo na lang, ano ba, madali lang yan, ganyan. And
Oo.
then you hear them saying na parang, yeah, madali for you, but it's not for me. 'Di ba? Na parang, okay, yung
Oo.
5-year-old ko sasabihan ako ng gano'n, oh my God, sorry po, sorry. Okay,
Oo.
shortcoming, blind spots, work on it. Yung, 'di ba? May gano'n kami. Parang, sorry naman.
Wait lang comment. How to be Christina daw. Oh, watch and learn. Sundan
Oo,
niyo yung ano ko, posts ko.
him. How to be a Christina. Ayan po.
Makikita
Panoorin
niyo.
niyo siya, How to be a Christina. 'Di ba?
Sabi ni Chi, before Christina ako, ngayon Dani na. Okay, okay. Sige, malalaman niyo talaga. Ngayon, malalaman niyo kung ano ba talaga kayo.
'Di ba? Damay-damay lang.
Oo.
Okay. So, ano pa ba? Did I miss anything? Okay. So, one thing that Christinas can do to further self-growth is to accept that image is not everything and that perhaps the image that she shares with others is not her real self.
Mhm.
So, yan. Alam na ni Kim yan.
Oo. Medyo may cry factor siya pag kinaano,
medyo,
'di ba?
medyo may
Medyo
ganun.
may nakakaiyak na factor.
Meron talaga. Actually, lahat,
Oo,
lahat ng types.
oo.
Pagka
Pag
merong
may
something
na-realize mo na kasi, eh,
kirot
paulo,
sa'yo talaga na parang, oh
oo,
my God.
oo.
Parang ang sakit, aray, sorry po. Gano'n.
Pag dala sa Christina, you have to stand up and keep
Oo,
moving and
diba? Si
improve,
Christina hindi yan papayag sa
'di ba?
ganyan.
Oo, hindi puwede.
Si Dani hindi na rin tatanggapin yan. Hindi niya papakita sa world. I'm strong. Gano'n. I'm strong. Gano'n.
Oo.
At alam ko baka maraming excited with those who are watching kasi according to your poll, a lot of your followers are Phoebes. So
Oo,
Phoebe
sige.
is the
Let's see
last
kung
mommy
Phoebe
type.
talaga kayo.
Oh, a lot of Phoebe's, Phoebe's the last mommy type in the Heart Mom Mama House. So, for all the Phoebes, kayo ba talaga to? Because
Mhm.
if you are, you encourage your children to talk about feelings all the time. So, all the
Oo.
time talaga. Your parents, with a lot, you parent your children with a lot of nature exploration, ganyan, very natural approach to parenting, in partnership with the arts. So it's always parang natural approach and then singing, dancing, ganyan, painting, playing the instruments, all of those things. That's what you're all about as a parent.
Mhm.
You also encourage creativity and expressiveness in your children as well as authenticity, intuitiveness, introspection. You'll always also support and sympathize with them. So Phoebes are the artists yan. Kayo yung parang you will encourage uniqueness and um, being special. Yan.
Mm.
Tapos, in times of stress, you are when you're forced to be like every other parent. Yung, alam mo yung parang, kasi nga they want to be unique, they have a need to be unique and special. So parang, when they're forced to act like other parents, like the normal kind of parent, yan, nasa stress na sila. Hindi pwede, kailangan, I'm a special kind. I parent my children in a different way or in a unique way. Ganyan, parate si
Mm.
Phoebe. And then when she feels like she's not valued, she's not affirmed, when she's rejected, when she feels like parang there's something missing when she, in terms of how she parents her children. Kasi nga parang there's always, she's looking for something unique and something special. So
Oo.
parang pag may kulang, ayan, nasa stress na siya. So
Hmm.
one way that Phoebes can grow is by being more aware of the times when she's focusing too much on how everybody else is different instead
Mhm.
of what things she has in common with others to be able to connect better with them. Kasi
Yeah.
nga minsan parang because you want yourself to be too, 'di ba? I want to be special. I want to be,
Yeah.
you set yourself aside, separate from others. And then ang tendency, you don't connect with them naman. Kasi nga gusto mo special ako. So nakadistansya lang din siya sa parents. So that can
Mm.
also happen with the children. Diba?
Oh, we
Oh, you
have
have
a
a
Phoebe.
Phoebe.
Hi, Luila. Hi,
Hi,
Phoebe.
Phoebe.
I just realized that actually in our mastermind, we have a lot of Phoebes in
We
there.
do.
Napansin mo?
Oo,
Di ba?
ang daming Phoebes.
Saka
Totoo yan.
parang nag-iisa akong Christina. Parang alone. Pero
We
ang dami,
never know.
ay oo, actually.
Diba? We never know.
Sabi ni
Okay.
Nika, I wonder which one I am.
May shortlist na ba among the ano?
Oo, meron ka na bang idea kung sino so far? Nasa
May
second
shortlist
house
na.
pa lang naman tayo, di ba?
Yeah,
Got
may
moms
tatlo
and
pa.
partners. May isa pa. May isang house pa,
Oh.
so may tatlong personalities pa. O si Nel nag-comment na naman, I think all naman po may pagka-Phoebe. Oo, kasi lumabas din to sa result ko, no?
Yeah, lumabas
Oo.
din siya.
Oo.
I think
Ayun.
ako meron, I think according to, if I remember right, nung nag-take ako ng Enneagram test, ang results ko ay Christina, Phoebe, at may isa pa Alimutan ko kung ano, Miranda yata. Walang lumabas na Dani at all. Or very nasa bottom siya ng percentage. So,
Oo.
kaya rin ako big advocate on hindi sobrang reliable ng lahat ng tests online.
Oo. Yun nga, even, di ba sabi ko nga sa akin, dun sa top 3 ko, huling-huli pa yung Christina. Pero, nung talagang nag-dive tayo into my behaviors, my instincts, di ba? Doon na siya lumabas na Christina talaga. Medyo malayo pala ako sa Phoebe.
Oo. Di ba?
Actually, ang layo, no? Christina and Phoebe lumabas sa akin.
Medyo malayo sila ng
Oo.
personality.
Sabi ni
Yun.
Mika, I'm a 6. Sige,
I'm a
tingnan
6.
natin. Hindi ayaw sabihin ni Tetz kung ano yung numbers
Ayaw ko sabihin
related.
yung
Para
numbers.
ano, kasi nga pag sinabi ni Tetz yung numbers, mababox mo na doon.
Yeah.
So you have
Kasi
to figure out
alam mo na
yourself.
agad na pagka,
Oo.
okay, 6, yan yung worrier. Yan yung ganito, di ba? Pag 4, yan yung individualist. Pag 5, yan yung, meron ka na agad label na parang ang daming pwedeng mag-fall under that particular label. So, parang ako for me, hindi siya fair for us na parang mahirap na maging nanay as it is, tapos lalagyan ka pa ng label na ito ka in one word.
Oo.
Medyo, di ba? Ang hirap
Kasi
ang daming
nakaka-stress Nakaka-stress pag may label. Parang, paano kung hindi ako ganun? Yan yung naging issue ko before kasi parang, hindi ako ganun. Ganun, paano
diba?
hindi ako
Kasi it's one word Parang, diba? Di ko talaga, yan, parang sabi ko, yung 8 pa man din, usually, the challenger, sabi ko, so napakasama ako bang tao? May ganun kaagad, na parang, so ano ko, rebel, ganyan.
Like
challenge.
sa akin, diba, yung naging issue ko doon na parang, oh no, baka fake ako masyado.
Ganun agad
Ba ako, parang gano'n. Tsaka sino
So,
ba?
parang, hindi ka na mag-dive deeper kasi nga naunahan ka na agad ng parang, okay, na-judge na ako, ayoko na. Di ba yung gano'n?
Pero it's good. I encourage you guys to dive deeper talaga. Kasi you have to go beyond yung results na yun Basta, super helpful.
Sometimes it's not just, maybe, minsan nga, yun parang like in my case, yung results ng Enneagram test ko, hindi totoo. Kahit alin doon sa top 3, wala talaga. Hindi talaga siya. So, yun. Okay, sige. Punta na tayo sa last 3.
Sobrang organized mo po. Minsan nakakahiya na yung pagka-organized ko kasi ini-impose ko siya sa ibang tao minsan. Lalo na yung husband ko. Feeling ko, alam mo yung husband ko, he's a Phoebe.
Talaga?
Oo. Kaya naggaganon. Kasi parang, bakit? Parang, ba't hindi mo ilagay sa Google Calendar mo yung meeting mo? Parang hindi mo makakalimutan. Yung mga gano'n. Gano'n ako salita sa'yo. Hindi ba pwede? Di ba kinukwento ko sa'yo during our concert? Yung nag-share siya sa akin ng feelings niya. Tapos ang sagot ko lang sa kanya, so, ano bang gusto mo talagang pag-usapan natin? Gusto mo marinig sa akin? Minsan ang meme, natawa ako kasi sobrang different naming dalawa. Feeling ko Phoebe siya Kasi ganun siya parang artist siya. Diba? Nakakatawa, diba, na Phoebe siya, pero he's in service. So, parang stand out member.
Unique? So, unique, di ba? Unique and special firefighter.
Oo, kakaiba siya kasi parang hindi pang service yung Phoebe. Hindi siya,
Pero kasi So, but pwede naman, di ba? Parang like, even if, kunwari, ito yung job mo talaga, pero in
Oo.
your free time,
He
nag-explore,
paints.
siya ng
Oo,
art.
siya he
Yun. So,
paints. Ganun
artist siya in
siya.
his free time. So,
Oo.
that's, di ba,
Yun lang
very
yung ano
positive.
niya. Yung natawa kasi ang struggle niya talaga is keeping on top of things. So, minsan sabi ko na, alam mo, bayaran mo na ako kasi feeling ko assistant mo ko. Kasi ako yung naglalagay ng meetings niya minsan sa calendar niya. Kasi minsan nasa calendar pa na niya, makakalimutan pa niya kasi hindi niya chinecheck yung checklist niya. What the heck? Ayan. Ayun. Pero syempre, dati understand ko nga rin siya.
Oo, diba? Saka
Pero
kailangan,
yun nga, that's the good thing of knowing kung ano yung personality types. Kasi makikita, mas may understanding ka na.
na parang ito yung need niya, so we can try to fulfill that need in a way that also parang makes sense to us.
Oo, yeah. Yeah.
So, malaking help siya with marriage.
Oo. Kaya nakakatawa kasi nagka-clash talaga kami dahil magkaiba kami ng
Kami
personality.
rin! Sobrang magkaiba
Opposite.
namin ang husband ko.
Oo,
As in,
opposites kami.
tas parang parehas kaming hindi nagpapatalo in a way. So, yung personality namin, yung parehong personality that, di ba, na strong, na palabas, outwards, yung manifestation ng need.
Oo.
So,
Same.
kasi,
Sa amin, ganyan din sa amin. Sa amin naman, ang pagkakaiba namin, kunyari with the kids, yung parenting the kids. Mahilig ako mag-research kasi nga gusto ko tried and tested, di ba? Parang siya more on, let's explore, yung ganito. Parang uncomfortable ako kasi parang, ano ba yan? Proven na ba yan?
paano kung mag-work?
Yun. Yun yung question ko palagi. Paano kung hindi mag-work? Tapos ang sagot lang niya palagi, hindi, mag-work din yan. Yun,
Ang hirap.
You won't know pag hindi mo tinry. Ganun ako, what the hell?
Stress ka na ng sobra doon, I'm sure.
Exactly. Mas-stress na ako. Pero give and take kami. Natuto na rin kaming mag-give and take eh. Parang hanggang saan tayo experiment, hanggang saan lang yung pagiging organized, yun gano'n.
Mahirap siya talaga. Yung husband ko hanggang ngayon, parang 5 years na siya nag-i-insist na magkaroon kami ng schedule. Hanggang ngayon wala pa rin.
Pareho ko siya.
Parang ganyan, naiinis na siya sa lahat ng mga things. Ganyan. Parang, syempre siya yung nag-work. Ako yung nasa house na usually. So, wala naman siyang choice. Ako parang go with the ito yung gusto kong, parang diba, my way nga eh. So, my way will work. My way will win. Kasi ako yung nasa...
Trust me na lang. Trust me.
Ako yung dito. So, mag-away kayo all the time. Diba? Mahirap siya. Pero, very easy, parang easier siya to figure out na compromise kapag alam mo yung pinanggagalingan ng other.
So find out nyo rin kung ano yung type ng husband ninyo.
True. Malaking help.
Alam nyo kung paano nyo i-handle. Kami hindi na kami, actually, tagal na namin hindi nag-aaway talaga eh. Kasi natuto na kaming intindihin eh. Nakaganyan ka eh. Ganyan. Gets na kita, sige, yaan mo na. Ganyan.
I think yung husband ko, medyo nagigets na niya yun over time.
Sabi ni Nika, napaisip tuloy ako if my husband is a Phoebe. Si Dan, kilala ko, si Nika is my best friend, by the way. Si Dan, pag-iisipan ko kung ano ba si Dan. Pero mukhang kasi artist yan si Daniel, yung husband niya.
Oo. Naku, may challenge din yun, especially if you're a 6. 6 tapos 4, iba din yung
okay. Sige.
Yeah. Okay, sige nga. Para naman for those in the head mom house.
Head moms naman. Susulat ko. Sige, mag-notes ako for you guys. Head moms.
Sige nga no?
I love it. Lumalabas. Okay, sige.
Sa totoo naman, I mean, there's nothing to be ashamed of when it comes to...
Embrace nyo lang yan.
Embrace natin lahat. Kasi lahat naman tayo meron ngang may strengths, may weaknesses. Lahat tayo meron yan. So, walang nakakalamang. Yun.
Parang pare-pareho tayong may challenges. Pare-pareho tayong may wins.
So, parehas. Even your challenges, you can use it to become a win. You can use, even yung strengths natin can be our downfall sometimes.
Yeah.
So, ano lang siya, it's always the push and pull of
Oo,
two
may head
things.
moms pa daw.
Hirap
Oo,
ba?
'di ba?
Meron pa.
Masakit
Kaya
siya
mo,
sa ulo, 'di ba?
sa ulo kasi 9 siya. Um,
Oo.
but yun nga, you can watch the masterclass kasi mas
Yeah.
detailed
Nasa
siya.
ano, nasa link ng nitong post na 'to, if you look at the caption, nandun yung link sa Facebook group ni Tetz. Nandun sa loob
Mhm.
ng Facebook group yung masterclass. So you can
Yeah.
watch it. Join na kayo tonight kasi mawawala yung replay, no?
Soon. So I'm not
Oh,
sure how long it's gonna be there, but it's there
okay.
for a while. Okay, so head moms. Okay, first mommy type of our head mom category, head mom house, is Rory. So
Oh,
si Rory naman has intellectual discussions with her children all the time. So ito yung she's the type, kumbaga kung si Phoebe yung parating emotional, she'll encourage her children to talk about their feelings, ganyan. Si Rory yung complete 180 noon. She will talk naman about, have a lot of intellectual discussions with her kids. Parang they will
yeah.
philosophize about life. They will talk about facts. They will talk about, things like that. And she will tend to present always more information to her kids. So siya yung madalas na kunwari, sasabihin ng anak niya na, eto, favorite ng anak ko tayo, parang, Mommy, did you know that this and this is, this does this?
Oo.
Diba? Very normal for kids yung ganun. Eh. Parang, Mom, do you know na ganito? Did you know that this, like this is like this? Usually naman, di ba, like usually tayo parang, okay, talaga. Di ba, ganun lang
Oo.
naman yung, si Rory will answer, hindi anak, siya yung i-correct niya yung kids niya. Kasi nga, she knows a lot eh.
Encyclopedia. Oo.
Oo. She knows more, obviously, kasi nga, she's the parent, di ba? So, kuwari, kung sinabi ng anak niya na parang, did you know that there's 7 colors of the rainbow and one of them's like blue and then dark blue? No, anak, that's not dark blue, that's indigo. Di ba? Siya yung ganon.
Oo.
Siya yung parang, she doesn't mean to naman, pero she will one-up her child because she wants to give the best information possible.
Yeah.
So, yun, parang she will encourage her children always na you have to look at the big picture, parating ganyan ang payo niya to her kids, and then she will encourage them to be independent, to be very analytical.
Yeah.
She's also a wise parent kasi nga, she uses her, parang ang center of gravity niya as a person is the mind, who's very systematic and objective at home. So,
Mhm.
she's in times of stress, siya naman yung nasa-stress siya kapag masyadong maingay, masyadong maraming socializing na in the house. Yan, hindi siya fan of that. She likes to keep to herself, keep to her books, keep to her, yung parang she likes to collect knowledge even in a party, ganyan. Siya yung i-observe niya what's happening, ganyan. So
Yeah.
when she cannot control a situation is also a very stressful thing for her. When she has her ideas and knowledge challenge, so kunwari her husband is also, kunwari sabihin mo na her husband is a Dani, ganyan. Tapos si Dani gusto, he will insist on his way. Kunwari kung Dani siya, and then the wife is a Rory. So sasabihin nung Rory, okay, I believe that the best way for us to parent our children is this way, ganyan. Kasi nabasa ko sa ganito through all the facts. Bibigay nila lahat ng facts. Eh, itong si asawa, si Dani will not listen and will insist on her way. So yan ang stress point for Rory. Kasi she knows, she did her research, she did all the information collecting, and then
Yeah.
she's still being challenged. So that's a no-no for her. And
Mm.
also, when she doesn't get enough time to recharge herself. So yan.
Okay.
Ang growth path naman for Rory, one of them is to pay more attention to times when she finds herself detaching emotionally. So, dahil the tendency of Rory is to be all about the information, all about the, thinking about things and being analytical, syempre, you forget, you forget to feel things naman,
Yeah.
di ba? To
Yeah.
let your feel, parang you detach yourself emotionally from a situation para matingnan mo siya objectively. So that's something that Rorys can work on. Yun.
Mm.
Tama ba? May mga Rory din sa poll?
Sige. Parang mostly ano talaga
Phoebe?
Phoebe's and ano yung isa, basta yung isa. Phoebe's and Ano ba yung isang na? Kasi numbers yung pinapol ko eh. Basta, I'll check. Pero may Rorys ba dito sa mga nanonood? May nakaka-relate? Parang wala pa.
Pa. Baka narinig
Serious?
ko pag
Kasi nagbabasa
ni-research
siguro yung
na
mga
nila on
Rorys. Oo,
yung
tapos
Rories, hindi sila nanonood nito
oo,
probably because
kasi
they're too
alam na
busy
nila eh.
researching. Either alam na nila or nung nakita nila parang interesting pala. So ginawa nila nag-research na sila
Oo.
kanina.
Oo. Okay na. Solve
Okay
na
na,
siya.
alam na nila. Ganon. Yan yung
Oo.
talaga. So it's the reality of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next mommy type is Mia. So, si Mia naman is your mama bear type of parent. So, siya yung, alam niyo yung parents na parating ready with first aid kits of, yung ganon. Tapos, she's
Yeah.
always the type to pack more. Kunwari, more than other moms. Yung alam mo yung parang, I will pack this just in case. Parang, I'll pack this just in case.
Yeah.
Yung ganon. Parang, lahat. She's prepared for any event na pwedeng mangyari. Ready yan. Kumbaga parang yung bag niya na dala niya everyday, meron parating everything for just in case situations. Ayan. Kasi nga, she's always prepared, she's very responsible, she also instills loyalty and trustworthiness, and being honorable naman is important for her kids to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So her stress situations come when she encounters new and unfamiliar situations. So yan, kasi nga, she wants to be prepared
Hindi
all
siya
the time. So,
prepared. Oo.
hindi siya prepared eh. So parang nasistress na siya agad doon. Or, kunwari, may sudden change of plans. At syempre, she prepares for this particular situation. Tapos binago mo yung plano. Parang iba pala. Hindi, nag-stress na siya doon. Ganyan.
Oo.
Kasi hindi siya ready eh. And then also when she has to make important decisions, because she is the type who will, ano yan eh, parang she's always gonna think of the worst case scenario. So,
Mm-hmm.
lahat ng scenarios in the world. So, pag kailangan niya ng gumawa ng very, very important decision, stress na siya kasi nga dami niya kailangan pag-isipan na parang hindi siya plan A, plan B, plan C, plan Z. Meron siya hanggang plan. Ganon.
Z.1.
Oo.
Z.2.
Z.2, meron pa rin. Ganyan. Ganun siyang klaseng tao.
Oo.
And then when she thinks her kids are disrespecting her or when they're being bullied, that's a strong stress point for Mia. And also when other people question her parenting style. So, yan. One growth tip for Mia is to learn to value, what knowledge you have within instead of always deferring to others. So, dahil nga she doesn't quite plan A to plan Z.1.
Mm-hmm.
So, before she comes up with the plan, with all those plans, she takes into consideration yung ibang tao. Di ba? Yung parang, ano bang gagawin ni ganito? Ano bang gagawin ni ganyan kung siya yung nasa situation? Di ba? Yung ganun. Anong gagawin ni ganito pag nasa situation ko? Nawawala yung, ano ba ang gagawin ko? If, diba? Parang really, me at my core, what will I do? What will I choose to do as me? Parang yun. Yun yung nawawala for Mia. So she worries about all of the things. Yun naman siya. Okay. Lastly, si Serena. Si Serena has an adventure always planned out for her kids, which include siya yung parang she wants them to experience new food, new activities, new experiences as often and as much as she can. So, she'll remind her kids na parang, look on the bright side. Yan. Siya yung parating ganon. Na parang she's very open-minded, she's very productive, very spontaneous as a mom. She will instill positive thinking, ganyan, very and enthusiasm also and optimism dun sa kids. So she becomes stressed naman when she's forced to stick to a regular routine. Diba? Kasi nga parang she wants spontaneity. Tapos when she can't get out of the house often enough, so si Serena malamang nababaliw na ngayon kasi
Oo, kasi.
So yung probably kung nababaliw ka more than anybody else ngayong pandemic, possible na Serena ka.
Mas mataas yung
yung stress level mo.
Yeah.
Possible na very Serena ka. Yun nga, so and then when you feel like parang, when she sees other people having more adventures than she is, or Pag may nakikita siya na nasasayang na opportunities, or when her kids are being negative, or when they're being sad, ayaw din niya na nalulungkot yung mga anak niya, ganyan. Or when she's not taken seriously by her children. So that's a stress points for Serena. So her growth tip will be to learn to value the present experience she's having, or kunwari, your whatever present situation she's in, rather than always, parang, kasi nga look on the bright side siya yung parang, may pandemic ngayon, nasa-stress ako,
Mm-mm.
ganito. Maybe naman tomorrow we'll have fun. Maybe next time we can travel. Maybe yan. Parang she misses out already on the good things naman that's happening in the
Mm-mm.
present.
Mhm.
So, yun.
Okay.
Those are the mommy
The
types
night.
naman.
The head
Head
moms.
moms.
Okay, guys, ano tingin ninyo? Saan kayo nagpo-fall? Si Nel parang nakatatlong palit siya. Sino siya?
Oh. Or sino yung confused pa rin up to now?
Oo. Let us know in the comments. Medyo ano talaga siya. Actually, itong session na to, hindi siya, even nga, di ba, yung 2-hour session ng one-on-one na kami, hindi pa rin siya enough eh. Kasi, ang dami talagang layers, di ba? Tsaka sabi ko kay Tetz, parang, kunyari, at work, I show up as a different personality type. Nagbabago. Nagbabago din siya. Pero probably because I adapt a lot.
Yeah.
Diba?
Mas more of the Christina way of adapting siya eh.
Oo, parang ganun yung nangyayari sa akin. Kasi nung nag-question and answer tayo, parang hindi pag sa work, ganito ako mag-react, mag-respond. Pag sa family, ganito. Di ba? Ganun yung ano. So, yun. Ayun, kayo guys, hindi ko alam ano bang sino, na ano nyo na ba? Do you know which personality type you are? Nag-iisip pa sila.
Isa pa silang one. Hirap, di ba?
Di ba you mentioned that may wings pa yan?
Yeah, meron pa yan. May other layer pa siya that you have wings, so you can either have, your wing is always the two numbers. If you're using the Enneagram, or if you're using the mom Enneagram, it's the two people beside you. So, if you're gonna see I guess when you follow me, you can see parang yung pie chart nga, I mentioned the ano. So, kung ano yung katabi mo, it's always one of those siya. So, kunwari, Phoebe and Serena, parang
magkalayo, no?
Magkalayo kasi they belong to different
ask yourself pa. You have to ask yourself pa kung ano ba talaga. Like I said kanina, you have to, when you ask yourself the questions na kung ano ka ba talaga, kailangan yung yung first answer talaga. So, hindi yung filtered answer yung sagot mo para makuha mo talaga kung ano yung tamang type.
At saka you ask yourself, so like one of the things that we go through the consult is, parang yun nga, like si Kim, when she asked na parang, when she told me na parang, bakit ganon? Kasi in work, ganito yung actions ko. And that's parang siyang action nung ganitong ni Miranda, for example. But in the home, I'm more of like a Christina, for example. Ganun. And then, but the action, the behavior is the same. So, same yung behavior. Ang question that would come in there is the reason behind the behavior. So, why do you do that? So, yun yung mag-iiba. Parang bakit yung reasons mo behind.
What's moving you to react that way?
What's the need that, that needs to be fulfilled for you, kaya mo ginagawa yung particular behavior na yon.
Ayan, nakakalito po. Mag-change po ba yung type depending on the situation? Kung Christina ka. If you're a Christina like me, kasi yun nga, like what Tetz said, a Christina would adapt depending on the person she's talking to, depending on the situation. Kasi, yun nga parang yung reason mo behind, kasi if you want to be accepted, you want to be the best,
parang Christinas want to present their best selves all the time. Kasi nga, very important. Diba? Parang kung parenting niya is star charts and reward charts, ganyan. So also for her own self, it's always, ako rin, how am I gonna be able to do well on my own personal star chart? Or, di ba, parang, kuwari,
Oo.
ikaw din as a mom, as a Christina mom or Christina
Mm.
person, parang gusto mo rin marami kang stars, gusto mo rin marami kang
Oo.
rewards on your
Oo.
personal star chart or your personal reward chart, kung ano man yung goal na sinet mo for yourself. So, Christina's will adapt na parang, okay, kung sa work, this is the self-image that I need to be, I will do this. If in
Mm.
this, in as a mom, ito yung kailangan, this is the version of me that I will present to be the best naman, to be the best mom, parang ganyan.
Mm.
So, but for other types, hindi siya
Hindi sila
nag-a-adjust.
nagpapalit. Oo. So, you have to find out kung ano yung type mo talaga. So, like what Tetz said, find out the reason behind your responses para malaman mo kung anong type ka.
Kasi parang lahat tayo, kunwari, yung example ng, kunwari, lahat tayo we have fights with our husbands, di ba? Obviously. Most of us don't like, and alam ko, diniscuss natin to parang most of us don't like to be told that we're wrong. Wala naman, I think, di ba? Parang normal naman sa tao na parang,
Oo,
ay,
ego.
ikaw yan
Ego
Parang wala namang may gusto na nasasabihan sila na, oy, mali ka, ganyan. So,
Mm.
always, in an argument, you'll always, parang be on the defensive. So, lahat nung mommy types will act that way. Nadidepensahan mo yung sarili mo. Pero, each type will have different reasons bakit nila dinedepensahan yung sarili nila in an
Oo.
argument. So, ganyan. So, kunwari, si Christina will, kunwari, no, I want to be, I want to be the best wife that I can be. So, hindi pwedeng ako yung mali. Diba?
Mm-mm.
Or,
Mm-mm.
Dani will say, hindi pwedeng ako yung mali dito sa argument because I don't like to be vulnerable. I want to have control. I want to have my way. Ako dapat So, ako dapat
Mm-mm.
panalo. Ganyan. You will have, sino pa ba? You might
Si
have, kunwari,
Phoebe.
si Phoebe will not like to be wrong kasi parang, that's so pedestrian, di ba? That's so ordinary. Di ba? Parang, ako'y mali. That's so ordinary. That's so, di ba? Yung gano'n, na parang, it's not. Parang gano'n siya. Or gusto niya ng drama. Di ba? Bored na siya sa life. Di ba? Parang, gusto lang niya ng more drama. It makes her feel more special, more unique. Ganyan, in a particular situation. Kasi, mas maraming pagtatalunan. Or
Yeah.
you can have Rory na who's all into facts naman na parang, hindi, kasi I did my research. I did my, di ba? Ang dami. All of
Oo.
them have different ways of,
Yes.
different reasons why you'll come on the defensive in a
Mm-mm.
particular fight, with marital fight, for example. So,
Yeah.
ayun siya. Very
Yun.
challenging
So,
siya.
ano talaga, parang, kunyari ang magandang siguro dyan, exercise for them. Kunyari na-trigger ka, and then, i-catch mo yung sarili mo pag na-trigger ka, and then ask yourself, ba't ako na-trigger? Yun.
That's
Ganon.
also.
Oo. Para
Basta,
malaman nyo rin.
ask yourself why. Talaga,
Oo.
yung why question is always important.
Yes.
Kasi,
Sige,
yun.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay lang. Parang, yun nga,
Ano lang
kasi
ako.
mahirap siya Parang you have to look at it as if you're in a box. Diba? Parang yun yung analogy ko. Think of it as if you're in a box. So, if we're in denial or ignorant of the box that we're in, then we become prisoners of that particular box. So parang pag nasa
Yes.
loob, yung personality types natin can be prisons until we learn more about them. And once you're inside that, diba, since you're inside the box, kasi nga, that's your personality, you only see from within. Kumbaga, ang nakikita mo lang, ito lang, ganyan lang, ito lang yung nakikita mo. Through the Mom Enneagram framework, parang it helps you shift from, just being inside the box to actually being a witness, stepping out and being a witness to your own personality. So nakikita mo, magiging observer ka of your own personality type. And you're gonna be able to work through it. Hindi lang yung parang, ito lang kasi, wala na tatanggal yung blinders natin.
Yes. Oo. So guys, if you feel like you need more information about it, kasi tatagal tayo ng sobra if we keep, di ba? We keep explaining talaga kung ano yung type mo, ano ka dapat. Join kayo dun sa group ni join kayo sa group ni Tetz, which is Catalyst Circle, right? The link is in the caption of this post. So, para madali niyong mahanap. And if you are interested to do what I did with her, which is yun parang deep dive talaga, one-on-one consult to find out what your type is, you can book a mom Enneagram. Hirap ako sabihin.
Ang hirap no?
Mom Enneagram. Ayun. Basta yun, book a consult with her. It's on her website, tetzagustin.com. So, meron na ready na, di ba? Nandun na yun.
Yeah,
Nandun na.
it's
So, you
there.
can book already. Tapos,
How
papakita ko
many?
sa kanila, di ba? Parang makita lang nila pa natin ginawa. Hindi pala masyadong. Ayan, she gives you a workbook. Di ba? May
Diba?
notes. Di ba may highlighting pa ako?
So, may highlights siya.
Oh, di ba? Merong color coding. Ayan,
I love it.
bibigyan kayo ni Tetz ng workbook to help you find out during nung consult ninyo. Ayun. Okay. I hope guys, nalito ba kayo or natulungan kayo? Hindi ko alam. Pero, ayun. Sige, try to yung replay naman nito will always be on my Facebook page. Tapos I'll also upload on YouTube. So you can always go back to it. Kasi in-explain naman ni Tetz during the video, the recording, di ba? Kung ano yung mga types na yon. So you can always go back to that. Join her group kung gusto niyo talaga mas marami pang, mas deep pa yung explanation ng bawat house, bawat type. And then, yun, if you want to level up, really find out kung ano ba talaga. Tsaka, kasi the consult will give you action steps. So you don't stop at typing lang. So she's gonna give you action steps, which is super helpful. Ayun. So there. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight. Nang tagal natin. Time po abot ng 1 hour. Pero
Usually,
we expected this, di ba? Kasi sabi natin, actually, pa nga to, guys, may points pa kaming sinusundan para hindi kayo mas tumagal. Pero yun, yes. So, yun, thank you everyone for staying with us for the whole hour. Ayan. I will upload this video on YouTube. I will add it to my blog. I will add show notes dun sa blog. Oh, di ba may notes tayo?
Ang taray.
Typical. So, I will have notes on my blog for you guys para mas madali, di ba?
True.
And then next week, there won't be a coffee with Kim pala next week because next week I am holding my first lean-in circle. So
Wow.
if you guys want to join us, it's about finding the right balance between work and family during the pandemic. So,
wow.
yeah. It's a nice way to connect with other moms. It's for moms. It's a circle for moms. And it's under the Lean in Philippines group ng circles. So it's a sub-circle of Lean in Philippines. So yun, it's gonna be our first Lean in circle. We're gonna talk about, yun nga, our struggles as moms during the pandemic. Kasi typical nga sa akin, di ba? I wear many hats. I'm sure other moms too. And it's a struggle. So, yun, let's talk about that. And then let's talk about how we can make it a little bit easier for us. Kasi we need the help. Ayan. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ted.
Thanks, Kim. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Bye. Good night. Join kayo sa group ni Ted.
Good night.
Good night.